Hello everyone, GoldenNova here. Now last night I got a lot of notifications asking if I'd seen the new cards that were revealed for Age of Overlord, asking if this was the new lore archetype that we had to keep our eyes on. Now it was very late and I was a very EP boy, so now I've woken up, I'm full of energy, kind of, and now we're going to take a first look at these cards and I'm going to judge that for myself. Okay, it's not totally a first look. I did see one of them that was revealed on Twitter last night. It's like the level 7 one that searches Tainted Treasure spell and trap cards. And if you have something like that in your archetype already, there's a pretty good chance for it. I guess I haven't been able to resist taking a couple of peeks at Snake Eyes Flamberg dragon here, but I haven't read the effect. I don't even know if it's actually a dragon monster. You can never tell with this. No, actually it is right underneath it. Okay, never mind. The joke doesn't work. Okay. First up is Snake Eye X Seal, a level 1 fire pyro. Okay, we're already all over the place. Level 1 fire pyro monster, 800 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use each effect once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand. Guess we're gonna have to look up all the level 1 fire monsters in a bit. You can send this card and one other face-up card you control to the graveyard to special summon a Snake Eye monster from your hand or deck, except a copy of this card. Card is a coffee tree plus a Sealy. It's a fairy. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Snake Eye Auroch. Auroch? Level 1 fire pyro monster, 900 attack, 200 defense. You can only use one effect, each effect per turn. If this card is normal special summoned, you can target one of your level 1 fire monsters that is banished or in your grave and either add it to your hand or special summon it. And you can send this card and one other face-up card you control to the graveyard to special summon a Snake Eye monster from your hand or deck, except a copy of this card. And this card is Oak plus Orc, so it's like plants plus mythological creatures. Okay. These last two effects are the same. Okay, so we're sending one and another, get another Snake Eye from deck, but it doesn't look like there's any kind of restriction to it. So what, you would summon the X Seal, get another card on board, send it and the other card to get Orc, which would get you another, it's only banished in your graveyard. Yeah, so you would get another X Seal and that would rank you up, so you would just get the on-summon for this. No, the on-summon for this would get you the material for another summon, which you could then rank up for, which would fill up your graveyard with a bunch of these things. Okay. Snake Eye White Birch, level 1 fire pyro monster, 0 attack, 2100 defense. You can only special summon this card with its first effect once per turn, and you can only use the second effect once per turn. If you control a fire monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Nice. During your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can send this card and one other face-up card you control, special summon a Snake Eye from your hand. Okay, so same effect all the other ones. So this is going to be the one that helps you get more material on board. Obviously, it has its own effect to summon things, but being able to summon right out of the hand if you already have a fire is going to be very helpful for meeting that condition. You can go, like you literally normal summon X Seal, search White Birch, special summon it, tribute both, get Orc, summon back either of these, and then you can use Orc's effect, or whichever's effect you didn't use, because you only used one of these to summon the first time. Okay, here it is. Snake Eyes Flamberg Dragon, level 8 fire dragon, 3000 attack, 2500 defense. Well, I mean, it has the Blue Eyes stats, so maybe we have some connections. There's no way this has a connection with Blue Eyes, actually. There's just no way. You can target one monster in the graveyard or face-up on the field, place it face-up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. During your opponent's turn as a quick effect, you can target a monster card on the field, treat it as a continuous spell, and special summon it to your field. And if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 1 fire monsters from your graveyard. Okay, so these summon Snake Eye monsters. Yeah, with no limit, so you can eventually go into Flamberg Dragon. You do all of this, all this different combo stuff to fill your graveyard with them so that you can put a whole bunch of level 1 fire monsters in your grave so that they can resummon more Snake Eye monsters. In fact, something I didn't notice until just now is that White Birch is a quick effect, so you could have Flamberg go from hand or field to graveyard, summon White Birch and any other Snake Eyes, and then immediately turn this back into Flamberg Dragon. So that seems pretty big. And then we have the whole monsters as continuous spell things. I think people were also saying that there was the spell from last set that was like the generic removal one that made me think of Valance. I think this is the kind of thing that ties into it. So you can play that, put their monster back there, and then Flamberg's dragon gets it for you. Or you can just use its own effect, which also takes monsters in the graveyard and puts in its owner's spell and trap. Ooh, okay. I don't know if we've seen the new Crystal Beast tech, but I'll leave that up to Neshi to figure out what the deal with that is. Okay. The Shrine of Serpentine Sight Snake Eye field spell card. When this card resolves, you can place a Snake Eye monster from your hand, deck, or grave face up in its owner spell or trap card as a continuous spell. Neat. Level 1 fire monsters you control gain 1100 attack. That's an oddly specific amount. Once per turn, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can target a monster card on the field, treat it as a continuous spell, and special summon it to your field. So we have a second card that can allow for summoning from the back row. Oh, wow. Okay, so White Birch doesn't exactly become a powerhouse under the field spell, but Orc becomes a 2000 beater, and Exil goes to 19, so that's actually a substantial boost. The original Tainted Treasure, Snake Eye. Okay, you can send one other face-up card you control to the graveyard, special summon a level 1 fire monster from your hand or deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Snake Eye or Diabellstarr. Okay, I think that's the one that I saw earlier. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Snake Eye or Diabellstarr monster in your graveyard, add a level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, then place the targeted monster on the bottom of the deck. Okay, I gotta reread that. So this summons one of our level 1 fire dinguses by sending another face-up card we control to the graveyard. This can be the continuous spell monsters that we have, or literally just anything, like a starter that gets us a secondary monster on board. Like, you could tour guide into a second monster, and then you can use Tainted Treasure to send one to graveyard, get our fire monster, and then now we have a second monster that we can send to graveyard with it to get things started. Banish card from your graveyard, target one of these monsters. Okay, so it recycles effectively. It gets us one of our level 1 fires, and then it recycles one of these cards back into our deck. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, and the Glaring Ruler Snake Eyes. If the total levels of all Snake Eye monsters you control equal 2 or more, activate one of these effects. Why is it worded that way? If the total of all Snake Eye monsters you control equal 2 or more. So it's like you either need to control 2 of the level 1s or the level 8. I guess that's what they wanted to get across. Okay. Target a monster in your opponent's graveyard or face-up field to place it face-up in its spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. I think I mean its owners. Or target a monster card on the field, treat it as a continuous spell and special summon it to your field. Okay, so it's a third way we can summon continuous spell monsters to our field. And it can also be used as a way to push monsters back on top of that spell card. Intriguing. Very intriguing. It looks like the Diabellstarr monster isn't part of this article. Let's see if they put it in a second one here. Okay, here it is. Diabellstarr the Dark Witch. Corrupted Gem of Rebellion Snake Eyes will be renamed to Tainted Treasure of Treason Snake Eye. Oh, that's a really good name, actually. Okay. Oh, there's even more than... oh, there's a whole other archetype, too. Oh, my God. Okay, folks, it's time for the lightning round. Okay, Diabellstarr the Dark Witch, level 7 Dark Spellcaster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. You can only special summon this card with its first effect once per turn, and you can only use the second and third effects once per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Okay, that kind of synergizes with us by placing things in the back row, so that's like a free card. To summon, if this card is normal or special summon, you can set a Tainted Treasure spell or trap directly from your deck. There we go. And if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, during your opponent's turn, you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. So it's only during the opponent's turn, so it's not like we can, like, link summon it out of nowhere and then get it back But if we use like a quick sync or a quick link or something, that would still work because it's an if effect, so it doesn't miss timing. It's also if it's from the hand, so like if you discard it for some reason, then that can trigger it by sending a card to summon this. So that's pretty interesting. Now it sets a Tainted Treasure, and it said that the spell card from last set is going to be renamed to a Tainted Treasure. So we have access to that one, but it also gets us the original Tainted Treasure Snake Eye, not just the other one, which has a Diabellstarr in. Okay, so it does tie into that by itself. The other one isn't a Tainted Treasure. No, it's just Glaring Ruler Snake Eyes. Okay. The Tainted Treasure Hunter Fiend. Oh my gosh, she has her own wanted poster. I love that. That's... Oh, I'm bad. I'm a bad bounty hunter. Okay, quick play spell card. You can add a Diabellstarr monster from your deck or grave to your hand. So, I mean, I guess the other one also said Diabellstarr, but we're probably going to see multiple of these. Maybe it'll be the same recurring monster over and over again with different names. Who knows? During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your Tainted Treasure spell or traps that are banished during your graveyard, place it on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. Okay. We had something similar to that just now in the other archetype, right? The, Oh, literally what the graveyard effect of original Tainted Treasure is. We put one of our on-theme cards at the bottom of our deck and then draw a card. I think that one, like, searched us instead of drawing, but we'll take the draw. Okay, Tainted Treasure of Doom Luciella. Quick play spell card. You can target one level 7 or higher spellcaster you control, apply these effects in sequence. That face-up monster is unaffected by other monsters' effects this turn, but send it to the graveyard during the standby phase of the next turn. Okay. All face-up monsters your opponent currently controls lose attack equal to that monster's attack. Then, if any of those monsters' attack are reduced to 0 as a result, destroy them. Okay. So you get to make it a towers until the next turn, in which case you lose it. And then the bigger your monster is, the more you can take out with it. That's pretty savage sounding. Holy cow. And then, of course, this is where a lot of the multiverse, not multiverse, but like lore implications come from, because the Snake Eye is a Tainted Treasure. Now we have another Tainted Treasure of Doom, Luciella. And this can't be anything, but the fact that it's a Scythe brings to mind the continuous trap card Tour of Doom, which I think is like limits if you can normal summon or if your opponent can't normal summon or something like that based on a coin flip, but there's no way this is related. Absolutely zero way. Tainted Treasure of Betrayal Sylvia. Normal trap card, you can send a Diabellstarr monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, then target a face-up card on the field and negate its effects. Okay, this can send it from our hand, so we can send Diabellstarr from hand on our opponent's turn with a normal trap card, negate an effect, and then send another card we control to the graveyard to summon this. Okay. Neat. Neat. When an opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your Diabellstarr monster effects or Tainted Treasure spell or trap card or effects, you can banish this card from your graveyard to negate that opponent's effects. Okay, so it's got like a little... It's got a little way to protect your cards. It doesn't destroy the cards it's negating, but it's like a card in your graveyard. You're already getting like free value out of it. So the fact that it just negates is probably more than enough. Just like free ash protection, huge, absolutely huge. I can't super tell what's going on in here. The eye is in here, so this is a point where Bellstar has gotten... Or at least the Snake Eye is involved at some point. One Dogi is attacking another Dogi, so I guess that's where the Betrayal comes in. Is there enough visuals to glean any information? The Luciella is just mauling whatever the heck this thing is, but I don't think I can tell what it is based on this image alone. Is there anything in Bellstar's? Not really. It is fantastic looking art though. Holy cow. Also, don't think I didn't notice that it is a battle between a level 8 dragon monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense and a level 7 dark spellcaster with 2500 attack. They really should have given Diabellstarr 2100 defense to really solidify it, but I guess Flamberg is also not a light dragon, so I guess there's got to be a little discrepancy between the two of them. So, is this the new lore archetype? There's certainly precedent for that. So, one of the things that tips off here is the fact that we have a named monster, and then we have a whole other set of, like, Diabellstarr monsters. Like, add a Diabellstarr monster. The other one is, like, put a Diabellstarr monster in your graveyard. But it's not, like, an organizational name. Diabellstarr appears to be this person's name. So we're likely going to be seeing different versions of them, whether or not it's different occupations, having absorbed or taken influence from different tainted treasures, all kinds of stuff. So this seems to be a central character we can spin the narrative around, and we already have the intrigue of, like, what are these different tainted treasures going to do? What is their history? How are they going to affect Diabellstarr? We can already see a bit of a payoff here because we have the tainted treasure Snake Eye has a whole other archetype built around it. So, you know, what about Luciella and Sylvia? What are they going to look like? Maybe over the next 2 core sets, we will find out. Another indicator for a lore archetype is, does it pose any interesting questions? You can think back to things like the Abyss storyline with Albaz and stuff. Dogmatica is this big religious city that all of a sudden flips out when this boy falls from the sky who is also a giant dragon. What is the religion based around? What's going on with this lost child? These are some questions that can be answered in future sets. If you look back to the Visas storyline, a dude falls from the sky, that seems another recurring theme, who fights another guy that looks just like them, who has a whole bunch of animals. Is this a one-off deal? Is it the light and dark? They were light and dark attributes, so is this just a one-off thing? Are there other... we didn't see it too much in the TCG, but the OCG name, it was like the 4th World of Destruction. Why is it the 4th World of Destruction? Where are these other worlds of destruction? There's all, like, these interesting questions that are, like, open-ended that other sets can answer, and the Tainted Treasures of different varieties are already opening the door for that. But I don't think there's anything in these cards that make me ask, like, any other questions, to be honest. Like, it feels like the Flamberg dragon is pretty bad. These are like some buildings that it's crushing over. Though, looking at its more detailed art, it does look like that is the card that's getting its face bitten off by the Betrayal treasure. So that might be the last in the latest in the storyline, where Diabellstarr is fighting against the Snake Eyes, and then she summons the wolf, and it's like, oh, you're going down now. And judging from the expression here, which is, I don't know if it was a bit more comical than the artists intended, but it looks like that does the trick and subdues it. That's very funny. That is very funny to me. But outside of that, it actually closes more questions and opens them up, because we now know kind of how the giant dragon is dealt with. So Luciella is really the only largely loose thread. Though I guess also the other question being answered, or other question being asked here, is why Diabellstarr has a bounty out for them. Like, this is a wanted poster. Is, like, are the Tainted Treasures being looked after by a country? Is it just bad form to go around looting ancient tombs for sick new treasures? I guess we will find out. Is this, like, its own tainted treasure? Like, her right eye is... Because I don't think it's the snake eye. It doesn't look too much like it, but will we learn that it's its own tainted treasure? Questions for other sets to answer. So is this the new lore archetype? Well, I don't want it to be. because Visas is still going. We've already seen that those are getting new cards. And I don't think we can handle more than 2 lore archetypes at a single time, so if we're picking up a new one, that means that Albaz is going to be taking a bit of a rest on the shelf for a bit, which I don't really want because they left a pretty big cliffhanger there at the end there that implied a whole bunch of new stories. But if there has to be a new one, it's looking like it's Diabellstarr, and Snake Eyes is the first, effectively, chapter of its story. Oh, I guess also I'm noticing that the Snake Eye gem isn't necessarily one specific thing. Each of these has it as a core thing. So maybe there's multiple Snake Eyes, or maybe this is just one moving between hosts or something. Not quite sure. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing how this archetype plays. I'm not sure what the synergies between Diabellstarr and the Tainted, the Snake Eyes cards are going to be. They don't feel like they super synergize. But that happens in other lore archetypes. It doesn't appear that they synergize until later on where more integrated support shows up and really binds them together. For now, Diabellstarr is an interesting monster that has great revival tools during the opponent's turn, and gets you access to a variety of utility Tainted Treasure cards, and the Snake Eyes have an interesting gimmick that allows for a lot of special summoning, not only of our own cards, but our opponent cards. And if we're able to do things like make our own cards continuous spells, with off-theme cards, we could probably see those being added as a way to empower the deck. I don't know if this will tech in very well with Valance because of their extra deck only special summoning restriction once you use their effects, so I don't think we can use things like the Snake Eye effects or Flamberg Dragon, but that is for smarter pilots than me to figure out. For now, I wanna know what you all think. This is like my first impressions, but I am not the best at identifying powerful cards when they come out. So where do these stand? What are some wacky combos that people are already putting together that I haven't even thought of? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know. And then I guess look forward to Snake Eyes and Diabellstarr Explained in a few weeks. Take care. Today's episode was brought to you in part by Dragon Shield. When you want to protect your cards with the power of dragon scales, get some sweet lore for them, and support the channel, check out my link in the description to get started. Today's episode was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commander Green Knight, Nebula Navigator's 3rd Dynasty, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Andrew Newman, A Random Pup, Avi Chali, Kane Senpai, Chibi Gohan, Danny Bound, Divine Dragon Felgrand 4123, Eric, Aaron the World Breaker, Frankie, Genesis Yu-Gi-Oh, Gloomba 331, Great Big Pillock, Hairbear, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Howling Zangetsu, Iskander 711, John, Jordan, Julius Sneezer, Mana Charge, Marluxia's a Girl, Nathan Vig, Panther J, Rebel King Lucifer, RJ the Jank Monarch, Sammy Haim, Sir Knight JCB, Skybuster Leo, Sophie, apparently, the Fresh Prince of Con Air, the Wizard Moose and Xander Wolfensberger, Cosmic Crusaders Almento 5010, Ariel Kersey, Bear Sharktopus Studios, Beluga Masta, Blue Gem, Chazghost, Chris Kessler, Drachenwald, Emily, Eva Padilla, Herbal D, In the House Like Carpet, Inblink, Jester Designs, Kale the Dragon, Carp, Kevon Public, King Scarlet Yu-Gi-Oh, Lord Whoop-de-Doo, Manga Pages, Marion James E. Picata, Matt Simmons, Mega Combi, Michael Shimabukuro, Nadia McCarthy, Nitromo, Ruxith Sarani, Shizuki Nijimura, Star-Lord 777, Stephen Williamson, The Legendary Raven, Tucker Ordorn, and Zal Dureka, as well as the lovely Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to be a part of these credits, get my videos early, join in on the monthly custom card review stream, and, of course, support the channel, please consider checking out the link to my Patreon in the description or becoming a YouTube member.